Hello, guys. Alex Fedotoff here, and today we have an amazing guest, Tommy Castellano. I was actually like, your name is like from Mafia or something. It's like, there were these guys like telling
Only Castellano.
right?
When I was younger, and if there was anybody trying to pick on me, I would tell them that was my uncle.
Right. So Tommy is an amazing client in our BBA program, Brand Builders Academy, and he hit his first. Maybe not first. I'm just saying first. Like, you got to $1,000 a day in sales with your business. So it's exciting to learn from you and ask you some questions to help our community out.
Yeah, man, let's do it. I'm excited.
Awesome. And so how did you get in e-commerce? Like, when did you start?
So I've always been intrigued with the online space because I know how much, money can be made and all the opportunities that this whole social media thing has created. Me and my brother had like a very preliminary like YouTube channel. He would make vlogs and like I'd always be in them. It died out, nothing came of it, but I always had this job that was kind of holding me back. I worked for a major tool company for 10 years and I was making a good amount of money. I was comfortable, but still basically living paycheck to paycheck. I never had to worry about money, but like I never was able to just, go and do whatever I wanted. And that's, the goal. And so I would do these little things on the side, but they never worked out. I joined an Amazon FBA program, never worked out. I ended up actually opening a gym, which that I can blame the COVID because it was 6 months before COVID happened. Then got shut down. So I've done all these things. And long story short, December of 2022, I got a call with HR and the president of my company and got let go.
Wow.
So
Why?
basically, it was just like layoffs that were happening. And kind of just took the brunt of it. I wasn't the best employee. I was just comfortable doing the minimum because I was working for somebody else. I always knew I wanted to work for myself. I always knew that. I've been I'll call it a entrepreneur because this is the first time that I'm actually doing, making some money. But I've always wanted to do something for myself. And when that happened, I was going on interviews for a couple weeks and just phone interviews. And I'm like getting asked these questions and I'm just like, damn, I do not want to do this. Like I actually took an online sales role. So I was selling a keto diet coaching program. And I gave myself a week. I'm like, I can't do this because I'm not on keto. I need to sell stuff that I believe in. And I just is what it is. I have no thoughts about it, but I couldn't do it. So I told myself I'm making one sale and I'm telling them I quit. I literally made a sale and I told the person, I said, listen, I don't even want the commission. I'm really sorry, but I don't want to do this anymore. I quit. The next day, I ended up searching online to look for a program or something to kind of start helping me out. Ended up buying into a program that just didn't have the information that I wanted, didn't really, feed the need for all the information that I knew I needed because I was in that FBA program, which is one of the best ones out there. And I saw all the information they had. This program I get on, it's like a Facebook group chat and like 2 conference calls that the guys barely showed up to. And that's when I started seeing your content because I was kind of in that algorithm now with the e-commerce stuff. Started seeing your content, was really intrigued, because you were different. You weren't pushing the Lambos and the big houses. It was more of just like, I have done this. I'm going to teach you how to do it. And I was super intrigued. And at the time I had already been in I spent a good amount of my savings on the first program. And I even messaged you. I remember, listen, I'm not going to buy your program, but I'd love to jump on a call to see, what it's about. And the second I was on the call and the rep showed me the school program and all the classes, I was like, damn, I'm gonna do this. And it's going to be a big chunk of change again that I'm eating into my savings, but I know it's going to be worth it. And that was like 8-9 months ago, and I am super happy that I took that leap of faith on the second program because it's all been worth it since then.
Man, this is awesome. This is like, and it's like that for everyone. It's like very like rarely that you can just like do something like once, right, and it works out from the first time. Like many times, it's like trial and error, like everything in life. It's like, so but the key there is like you kept looking for the solution, right? Like something worked, something didn't work, right? But you kept looking because you internally, like, you had the belief that something is possible, right? So you kept looking for that opportunity. So what is so you joined the program, like what was the kind of like initially the major kind of like obstacles that you had to face, right? Like, was it like product research? Was it like the ads part? Like, what was the biggest, challenges and how you overcame them?
So I didn't have too much time with the other program. It was only about a month and a half, but there was a layover between that program and your program, the BBA program, that I kind of had the wrong mindset. They were all about building a one product store, drop shipping mindset. You're going to just crush it with this store and be done, move on to the next product, be done. And moving into your program, it was like, let's build a lean e-commerce brand that you're going to, build a customer experience and kind of a whole brand around it. That was definitely the hardest part. But once I got past that and started diving into your content and the program, I think the biggest obstacle I had, and again a little bit carried over, was I paid upfront for a few things that I do myself now. So ads. So I paid for Billo, bands off ads for the first product. Once I did my product research and got like a website up and running, I was paid for that. Then I paid for a landing page, and like not a lot of money. It was $5 or $100 here, $100 there. But then like when I needed to edit the landing page, I was like messaging the guy on Fiverr. He's like, all right, $10, I'll do it. And I'm like, oh, wait a second, this is not like I didn't get like a web developer for $100, or an ad creator for $50. Like I have to keep paying, and like days go by. So like that was definitely the biggest obstacle, because now fast forward, 10 products later, 10, 15 different landing pages, all this. Now I could whip up a landing page, a pretty decent, now I think it's a pretty good landing page in 2 hours. I can whip up a whole product website in a few hours.
Interesting. So you like initially, and it seems like, so initially you just decided to kind of like outsource everything, right? Like all of these kind of like.
I wanted to go to $100 million overnight. So I was like, I can't be doing myself.
Yeah, of course, right? Like
I'm like, no, like I want to pretend, and you hear those entrepreneurs, right? You got to see yourself, the vision. So like I was like, I'm not gonna just slave away at making a landing page. I don't need to know that. I'm gonna be the business guy, right? Like I'm, and I 100% was wrong about that in the beginning. Now again, when I have a product that's doing 10K a day and 20K a day, I'm sure I'm not going to be creating the landing pages, or maybe I am, but outsourcing other stuff. But even the ads, I was going to Billo or bands off ads, and like the product test would fail. And then I'm like, oh crap, like I need to make another ad or edit it. And like, I didn't know how to really do any of that. Now I edit everything myself. I make most of the products that I test and try. I test the products. I try the products myself. I create all the ads and content. If there's some products that I can't get my hands on fast enough and I still want to test, like I'll scrape the internet, YouTube, TikTok, and all that stuff for little clips to put together an ad. But I pretty much, or not pretty much, I don't pay anybody anything right now. Like I do everything myself from zero to.
Man, this is such a good, like, I think this is also, wow, it's great. It's great that you mentioned that, because like, so literally today I had a conversation with Paul Freeman. He's in our community and he's doing TikTok organic. That's his that he dialed in pretty well. And for him, it was also like, so he's made like 150, like so far this year, like 150 G's in sales, about 40% profit. He made like 60 G's in profit in a few months. And he's like, he said that he's also shooting all of his like TikToks himself, right? Yep. He understands how to do it. Now, if he was to outsource it now, first, like he has a margin to do it, right? He has a profit to do it. Second, he has the understanding on how to do it. right?
Yep.
Because it's like it's one part to, like, even if you have money, even if you have money,
tell the other people.
yeah, right. It's like you still have to you still have to understand what's going on, right? Like how to outsource stuff, and like how to quality control, like how to know if the ad is actually good, right?
Yeah.
So I think this mindset, and also, I mean, this comes from like also many of the, like, I know many like automation kind of offers, right? The people sell like 25, 30,000. Yeah, we'll build your business for you. No way. Like you won't find, like, it's hard to build one business, right? How are you planning to build like 300 like businesses and run those businesses profitably? And like, so those majority of those offers are, scams pretty much, because like it's hard to make it work. And and it's, I think, what you just been through, right? Like, I mean, you've been through that like pain, right? Like when it doesn't work and you like, it's like, why it doesn't work, right? And then you either give up or get your hands dirty, right? And actually do what you need to do. Subconsciously what you need to do. And like, and it's great that you actually did it. Now with all of that experience, that's something that you can build upon and upon and upon.
Yeah. And even, it goes back to every step of the way with all the products that I tested. Again, I'm a little bit older. I knew that it wasn't a get rich quick thing. I've been past that phase. I've tried things for that. So now I knew, I'm like, I want to get my hands dirty. I want to build a business. And even with me paying a couple people in the beginning, I just didn't realize how quickly that money could add up. And talk about a lean e-commerce brand. I needed to be the leanest out of anybody because I don't have a job. I needed to make this work. And so every product test was money out of my pocket. And even if it was $100 for that day, if I didn't make any sales, that's $100 out of my savings account, for my family and for my bills. And I was like, struggling to just hit one or two different metrics. And like the hardest part throughout the entire process, and again, it was good because it kept me going, but I'll never forget it. Like my first product test, I got a sale at like 6 o'clock in the morning before I woke up, or like right as I'm getting back from the gym at 6:30, I'm like, damn, I got a sale. I'm going to be rich. I'm like, this is awesome. No sales for the rest of the day. And I'm like, damn, like, oh, here we go. Like just another product test that like, it just leaves me in the dust. And that happened literally 9 times. And the good thing was every single product that I have launched so far, I've sold at least one, which I hold like high. I like that. I enjoy that. I could say that. The problem is, a lot of them, out of the 9, maybe 4 or 5, I literally only sold one, and spent a few days testing it, and Omid and Serhi would definitely back me up on this, because I probably spent way more money testing than I should have, but I was stubborn. I wanted to test, I fell in love with the products in the beginning. There was a couple products that I liked, that I used, that I was like, this is gonna work. Like, and I spent, you guys preach about $100, $150, maybe $200 at max.
Yeah.
There was a couple products where I spent like $500 to $1,000 testing. And I was like, all right, because again, I got lured in. I never knew what a winning product looked like, from a perspective of running a test. So like, I got that sale and I'm like, all right, I can make this work. I got a sale. It's going to work. And like the whole day would go, no sale. The next day, get on a call. All right, maybe tweak this. And then no sale, and then no sale. And I'm like, oh man. And I actually remember Matt gave me like the tough love, where he's like, dude, you've been in this program for 4 months and you've tested 3 products. He's like, I know that you're working. Like, it's not the work ethic. It's, you got to get past the mindset of like building a brand of like one product that like, this is the end all be all. We have students that test 50, 60, 70 products. And literally from that call to today, which has been like a month or 2 months, I tested triple the amount of products. And finally come across a winner, which looks way different than any of the products, and even the product itself is way different. And it's a product that I still believe in, that I still could use myself, but it's not a product that like I fell in love with. It's just a product that like, all right, now this works. I know what it looks like, because we mentioned it before. We jumped on the call. I had one sale for these products. I mean, I'm on my 16th, 17th sale today, and I'm like trying to figure out how to get more. And it's a way different look. It went from 2 or 3 sales for the first 2 days, and even losing a little bit of money, but knowing like, all right, I got 3 or 4 sales, 2 days, I got 6, 7 sales. By the 3rd or 4th day, I scaled it up a little bit, and I had 10 sales like 3 or 4 days in a row consistently. And I'm like, wow, this is what a winning product looks like.
Nice. I mean, what is the price point of your product?
$34.99, but right now I'm doing it's a high perceived value product for the price that I'm getting it for. Like I'm sourcing it for like $3.
Oh wow.
And so I'm doing a buy one get one free promo. $34.99, and even at $3.51 for one of them, to ship 2 to the customer is only $5.18. Shipped to the customer's house.
Man, this is awesome. Like, wow.
Yeah, so I got like after fees and everything, I got $28 to get a customer.
Very nice. Yeah. Wow. You know your numbers. You know your numbers.
That's one of the other things too, is I've always been a math guy. It was the only subject I was good in school. Don't ask me to do multiplication now, because I just use a handy dandy calculator. But no, you have to know your numbers. You have to be pretty good with the numbers. Even learning all the metrics with the Facebook ads and now TikTok and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Awesome, man. So how did you find this product?
So that was another thing in the beginning that I should have listened to you and the coaches more, is how important product research was. Again, those first couple months, I just like found a couple products and I'm like, these would work. And then like realized like after they didn't work, I'm like, oh crap. So I used the Facebook library and TikTok for this one. So TikTok for this specific one, but going on Facebook library and kind of just typing in the niche that I'm in and different keywords and stuff, and then just scrolling through and seeing, it's free. I have my Nia, I use my Nia too. But this one seemed to be more of the one where like it was a little bit easier for me to scroll through and find real companies that are, like basically if they're running 20 or 30 ads, you knew that they were like kind of scaling or they have a product that they're actually making money. If you got 5 ads running, 10 ads running, it's still maybe a product test. But I would just go on Facebook library, look at who's running ads, and then the TikTok. I just got introduced to TikTok by Victor, basically 2 months ago. It was the first time I downloaded the app. Oh,
really? That's crazy.
Yeah. And now I got a video approaching 500,000 views, which I'm pretty pumped about.
Oh, really? Like organic?
Yeah. So it blew up organically to like 80 to 100,000. And then I have it running as a paid ad as well as a Spark ad, but like I'd say it's not all, like maybe only the last week or two of views, which is after like 250 to 300,000 organic views. Now I'm promoting it with the ads,
and it's profitable.
Yeah. So right now I got 4 ads that are running profitably on TikTok.
And you also do Facebook?
So not for this product yet. Unfortunately, this was another thing with the learning curve. I got DMCA'd for this product because I had one picture, which was a supplier picture from CJ and some other competitor that was definitely just doing it maliciously, because they basically are another, drop shipper, DMCA'd me. And then I battled it. I'm like, no way, this is bullshit. The page got taken down though for 14 days. Like there's nothing you could do about it. And they're like, okay, this is like it was October 4th. They're like, October 4th, the page will go back up. I'm like, this was done maliciously. Like, how do I, so long story short, I'm waiting. I actually sent the product out. I'm getting some product pictures to put as the main pictures, so that now my website or that product landing page will have all its own content, and then I'll work with Omid and start running the same product on Facebook as well.
Nice.
This is the only product that I'm running on TikTok, actually, which is wild, because every other test that I've done has been on Facebook. I learned all his Facebook stuff, got everything, and then Victor jumped in, was like, let's try it on TikTok and see how it goes. And then like literally 3 weeks later, I'm over 10 grand in sales. I'm like,
yeah, that kind of like price point is, and especially if the offer is good, right? Can do very well on TikTok. So what's your approach to like creative, right? Do you like edit creatives? Like, where do they get the content from usually? Like, what do you plan to do with creative in the future? Like, how do you see that?
Yeah, so there's two. So I'll talk about kind of like Facebook and TikTok as two separate, completely separate things. But on Facebook, I've gotten very good at Chat GPT and writing scripts. So when I look at the competitors, all their ads, again, Facebook library, completely free. I look at all their ads. I kind of get a feel for what I want to type into Chat GPT, because a lot of people don't really understand how to use Chat GPT, and the prompts is the most important thing. Like, that's a whole nother kind of skill that you have to learn.
Yeah.
But I would kind of get the gist of what I want to say, type it into Chat GPT and tell them like, hey, listen, write me out a script. And then basically what I would do is, either if I was filming it myself or if I was just kind of getting some clips here or there from other people using it on the internet, then I would just make sure that the voiceover kind of goes along with the story that I'm trying to tell and the people that I'm trying to get to, whether it's, going after people that know that they need the product, but I just need to sell them, or people that have no idea the product is out there and I am showing it to them for the first time on my ad. So like, there's a lot that goes into that as well. And that has definitely been a part too, where it's like, I mean, it's easy to say now that I'm thankful for all those failed tests, because I've gotten to the point where I would get on a call and there was like 10 things I needed to change about my ad from one of the coaches. The last 2 or 3 tests I did, every time I jumped on a call, it was like, dude, this ad looks sick. I think it's going to crush, which was awesome, because it was, I came a long way from it being like, dude, you got to change this up, because I had no idea how to make an ad, to now the ad is good, but maybe the offer just isn't there. There's too many people, it's a little bit too saturated. There's too many people scaling that product, or too many brands. So, that is like the way I did Facebook. And then TikTok, I saw one thing that like really made me realize what TikTok is. And TikTok is just a copycat platform, a trend platform. And like, you just need to see what the person does that went viral and literally make the same exact video. Now, I'm not saying copy their video with their, like, just repost their video. But listen, everybody knows, like, everybody thinks it's a dance platform. It's a lot more than that now. But like, the way it got popular is everybody just doing the same exact dance to the same exact song. Now you just have to do that with the products, like, and basically, if either it's a competitor product that's somebody selling the same product, kind of just see what videos have the most views and copy those videos, but also copy yourself. So like, I've posted, again, I downloaded the app 2 months ago. I probably started posting 3 weeks ago, and I've posted probably 50, 60 times already. At least twice a day I'm posting. But the thing is, everybody gets scared when they hear that number. I'm posting maybe on one day, I'm posting the same exact video with 2 different songs or 2 different voiceovers. I'm posting, the next day, I'm posting the same exact video that I posted yesterday, but with a different hook in the text. Or, maybe, again, instead of me sitting here, I'm like walking outside, talking. And so, and seeing like, all right, well, this one has 500,000 views. Is it because of the video that I used?
Yeah.
Is it because of the song that I used? Is it because of the words and the angle that I used? Like, why did it go that way? Why did it get that many views? That's what's been I think the easiest part about TikTok, like it's not easy to get a viral video. Most of the videos just stop at 200 views, which gets a little frustrating sometimes. You just keep refreshing, like, all right, I'm at 190, 200, 230. Next time you refresh, no more. It's like, that one didn't work. On to the next one. But it's a platform that you kind of just got to really see what people are working. Now I get sucked into the trap too, where like I'm scrolling through, working, right, like trying to find a sound or something, and then all of a sudden I'm like stuck watching like a video where I'm like, what is this person even talking about? Like, in here smelling roses and eating fake donuts. I'm like, oh my god, this is wild. So like you got to kind of and Paul actually talked about, I watched the interview from earlier today. You have to set aside time to consciously scroll through all of these platforms, because I used to just be addicted to them. You're standing on the line at the bagel store swiping through. Now I consciously set aside time to scroll through, usually at the end of the day when I'm like kind of tired and before my wife gets home or my girls are taking a nap. I'll just sit on the couch and like scroll through and take an hour. But what I really make sure that I focus on is when I scroll to an ad, I just don't scroll past because it's an ad. Like I pay attention to the ad. Like I'm like seeing like, oh, what stickers did they put on? What, like this, what that, like kind of everything about the video and where everything's situated. So, that's kind of the mindset switch of like just using social media versus like learning from social media.
Oh, wow. That's cool. You said it that way. Yeah, I see so many kind of what you said was the conversation with Paul, and you have to become like a student of the process, right? Like student of the marketing, right? Like it's such a valuable skill, right? If you apply it correctly, I mean, marketing, sales, like some of the like most valuable skills, like you can apply it to almost like any company, right? Like you can make money in any economy. And 100%. Like now these platforms literally allow you, as you said, you can just like what, and like you go through like any person, right? Even entrepreneurs, like older people, younger people. I see like people like 50, 60, 70 years old, they have TikTok installed on their phones.
I'm getting customers that are saying like, hey, I ordered the product, where is it? Or like, getting a comment, and like I look and I'm like, this is like a 65-year-old woman sitting on TikTok. I'm like, so it's definitely evolving, but like, yeah, you need to really learn. And that's definitely been one of the tougher parts, is like training your brain to be on social media, but like for work. Yeah. Because sometimes like I do not go on my phone in front of my girls. I got 2 daughters. I got a 1.5-year-old and a 3-year-old. So I'm right in the thick of it. And because they like my 3-year-old will yell at me, Daddy, off the phone. And like, cause you don't realize, like you're stuck there. Your daughter's sitting there. Like you need to, I pride myself on being a present father. So like, that is one of the biggest things, is like when I'm up there. So now like after this, I go up there for a couple hours and like, I don't touch my phone. Now it's hard because you hear that Shopify cha-ching, you want to see it, and we do. I just made it a game now that they're coming through more often. Me and my daughters, we do the sale dance, and then we go right back on our way. I knew that I was going to push through the tough times. The hardest thing was getting those early sales and like getting so hyped up, thinking like, oh, dude, I'm a month in, I'm going to make this work. I remember the first product from the original program. I had a sale within 20 minutes of launching my first ad ever. And I swear to God, I literally was like, holy shit.
In terms of like keeping yourself productive, because it's so easy to get distracted. As you said, TikTok is one distraction, right? You can use it as a platform, but like any particular like tools have you used, or like kind of like somehow you keeping yourself like focused on the tasks at hand that you have to do?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I might not be the best person to ask this. But I will tell you, I do still, because again, I went from a job where I was getting paid during the day and I had a lot of freedom. I was a sales rep I had New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, and Rhode Island.
Wow. You was traveling like all the time?
I was traveling all the time, but not as much as I should have been. And the thing was, my numbers were good. I was a sales rep. So like I was getting paid no matter what I did that day.
Uh,
I had to go golfing. I went golfing. And guess what? My paycheck on Friday was the same. So going back to your question, like this was probably outside of the actual e-commerce world of having a productive day was the biggest thing and the hardest thing for me to learn. And really the way I structure it now, because again, also, so I'm in the basement of my house right now. Again, I got two little girls that are running around upstairs all day. If they're with grandma and I hear them screaming, I go up, make sure. So like, I had to make sure. I've always been an early riser. So I wake up at 5 a.m., kind of do my little morning routine, work out, get whatever I got to get done, and like wake up. And then 6 o'clock, I'm in my office and I get 2 hours of work done before anybody really wakes up. And that 2 hours of deep work that I do is the hard, like thinking or studying, or like if I needed to mess around with a landing page and I knew that I was going to take a couple hours, put my headphones on and I would do that, because then answering emails, maybe watching, studying. In the beginning it was studying, watching videos, and I'm still doing that. But then go upstairs, have a little breakfast, hang out with my girls a little bit, drop my daughter off at school. Then I'd have another 2 hours, and I learned, like Alex Ramosi, talks about it a lot, and some of these other entrepreneurs. Like I've always had the mindset and has always followed these bigger entrepreneurs because I knew that's what I wanted to be. Then I read the book Deep Work, like 4 hours of deep work where just sitting and literally doing nothing. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Is better than some people get done in 10 hours of like an all day. So like I make sure to get all the hard work out of the way in the morning when I have the fewest distractions, because then at like 3 o'clock, when I'm a little bit burnt out, when I'm a little bit like, you get that afternoon lull, then I'll go on TikTok and I'll scroll. So now I'm not really like, my brain's not like really got to dive in. I just kind of got to pay attention, save a couple sounds that I want to use, save a couple videos that I want to emulate. And then like, that's when I do kind of more of the creating as far as editing video. So like the day before in the morning, like this morning, I shot a bunch of content with the product. 3 o'clock came again. All of us get the same thing. I didn't really feel like grinding, right? I didn't want to be the entrepreneur grinding today. I was like, but I can edit a video. It'll take me a half hour, 40 minutes, and I'll get a good amount of work done. And then I did it. So like, you just got to find what parts of the day work best for certain types of work. Like you can't be doing everything every day. Like I like to find, and I'm still fine tuning it. I'm still figuring it out. But definitely a to-do list at the end of the night before, knowing what I'm going to kind of do the next day. So like tomorrow, I know that I have, so every morning, no matter what, now that I have a product, I go in, I type in the revenue from the day before, I type in the cost of goods, and I type in the ad spend minus the fees. I know exactly what I made yesterday. And I've done that every day for the product, because I haven't been too good with the finances, because I haven't really ever, I knew I was losing money. So like, I didn't want to add it all up. So now having having a winning product, I do that. That's the first thing I do every morning to kind of get my mode. And then tomorrow I know I'm going through, and I have been wanting to really set up a good email campaign, email flow. I know they're different, but both. Study that, and you guys have a whole section in the course, which is awesome. Again, why BBA is the best program out there, is you guys have literally everything. So now tomorrow, I know that I have 2 hours that I'm going to watch that 2 hours of video, and then now the rest of the day, answer a couple customer service emails, go on Shopify, make sure everything's all good, see if there's any tweaks to the landing page in the next 2 hours. And then the afternoon, because the afternoon can end pretty quickly. If one of my girls' naps ends, I don't have control over that. But then I'm usually back upstairs and done with work from like 4 to 8 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock I'll come back down. I'll do a couple little just house cleaning things if I have to buy any products, if I have to send any products. And then I'm done by 9 o'clock, and I'm in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock, ready to go.
Wow. What time you wake up? Like 5?
5 o'clock. My wife will say that I'm a liar because the last 2 weeks I've been lazy. It's been cold out. I go in the ice bath every morning, and the last 2 weeks I've been lazy because it's been cold out, and I get like 6 o'clock. I mean, the latest I wake up is 6, but I've been telling her, I'm like, I got to do the 5 o'clock again because I don't like just coming right downstairs. I want to, wake up, work out, go for a run. I got a Peloton, do the Peloton, one of those two, or work out and then kind of start the day, because that's kind of what gets me, up and ready. But the ice bath has been a game changer. I know it seems like a fad to people. If you yourself have not tried it, absolute game changer for waking up in the morning.
Really? Yeah, I should try it.
And actually, the reason I do it is because it was a failed product test from like 2 or 3 months ago. So I tested it. I'm like,
is that this one, the collapsible one, $150 or something?
Yep, $150. I never knew that these things were out there. Doing product research, I'm like, all right, I always wanted an ice bath, but they're like $5,000. I'm like, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I find this one. I'm like, I want it for myself, and I can't wait to test it. And that was one of those ones. Like I put it up in my backyard, and I was doing it, and I'm like, yo, everybody needs to do this every morning. This is insane. They say like Andrew Huberman and Gary Brecka and all these guys, they say like it's literally 2.5 times the dopamine rush, and you only get a 2-time dopamine rush from cocaine. Now, I've never done cocaine, but I'll tell you what, if it's anything like this, I would be addicted to that too, because this is truly addicting, waking up in the morning and jumping in the ice bath and getting myself going for, to start. Because again, like you said, you need to be motivated to do this type of work. Like I on the call last week with Matt, if you're a student of the program, for the Amazon program that I was doing, this is how I knew it was going to work. It wasn't going to work. I would set an hour timer to just watch an hour a day of the videos. And then as soon as the timer went off, if I was even in the middle of the video, I would be like, oh, I'm done, did my hour and be done. This is different. Like I sit in front of the computer and I'm watching videos. I'm learning all day because I love it. It's so much fun. Find the suck. I mean, listen, it sucks sometimes, but it's all worth it when you get that ka-ching, because it's a dopamine rush and you just want more. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Man, this is awesome. And, very, very inspiring that, like, I mean, you literally been through that kind of transition, from like 9 to 5 to building your own business, which is like, so many people try it, right?
Yep.
And so many people just can move, to the other side. And what would you say to someone who's maybe like working at a job, right, that it's not maybe it's not very fulfilling, or maybe they're commuting like 1 hour each side, like 2 hours on the road, like each day, or like in a subway, or it's just like not very fulfilling, like, or don't like the people that they work with, maybe, right? So want to make the move into like online space and do what you have done. Like, what would you say to those people?
Yeah. So I will tell them right now, anybody 100% can do this business and make it work. You need time, you need the energy, and you need money. And now you don't need a lot of money. You guys teach us how easy it is to test a product, and being realistic with the Shopify, subscription with a couple apps, and maybe all in $500 to test your first product, probably less you could do it with. It is definitely can be done. The problem is, and what I realize now is, it's hard to do it with a safety net, and that comfortable job that you're driving to every day that you hate is giving you that comfortability every Friday or every other Friday of that paycheck. Now, what I will tell you is, if you have Thank God I had this. I had an FU fund, and I've always had it. I've been very fiscally responsible for my, since I graduated high school. I was always save money. I don't really drink that much. I don't go out that much. I don't do drugs. Like, I never had like a side thing that I was spending money on. So I was able to save a lot of money. I had an FU fund where I told my wife, I said, listen, I am going to do this, and I don't have any backup plan. And we're going to use savings for the bills, and I'm going to make this work, and I promise it will be worth it. That 100% is why I made this work instead of all the things I've tried in the past at that safety net. If you are watching this and you have an FU fund that you could quit your job, I would say a year, like 6 months, I think can definitely make it work. You can make it work in a month. You might get lucky, make it work in a month, but you really need to have 6 months to a year of an FU fund. And I tell you right now, you should quit your job right this second. Hit up Alex, and I promise you in a year from now, it'll be the best thing you ever did. But that comfortability is what really holds people back, even in the program, from making it work, because you need to be all in. I was telling, you have a video in the beginning of the program, a mindset video, and talking about how, you need to be in a good space in your office, make it a comfortable space, get some plants. Bro, I went out and bought plants. Like, that's how all in I was. Like, I was so all in to make this work. Like, dude, I got them all over my office. Like, I'm not kidding. I was so all in to make this program work and believed in you and all the content that I had. And I had no safety net. I went skydiving with no parachute, hoping I was going to land in the ocean. And thank God that I did, because otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Man, this is fascinating, and it's like, the way I see it is like, how many entrepreneurs are there? Like, it's only a few percent, right? Then out of those, how many percent of people go to this level, to this level, to this level, right? So each level is associated with its own level of pains, right? The type of pains that like Elon Musk went through, like, or Mark Zuckerberg, it's like probably like you or me would collapse, like, from that pain that he went through, right? And but they went like all in, like, and like Elon, like when he sacrificed it's almost like his companies were so close to getting like bankrupt, like in 2008 or something. And
he put lots of new companies, right? That he made.
now everyone is driving Teslas, right? Yep. So it's like,
I got one. I love it. I've got one. Finally, I've been saving for it for years. I got one. I freaking love it. And that was another thing, is following these guys. Just like you said, they go through so much pain that, like, that's one. Like, the other thing is just, you need to be patient, and you need to be mentally tough. I still have to work on this, because I get super high when I get sales, and I get super low when I need more sales. And I've even been experiencing that now. But to touch on the part of the different pain levels, I am now experiencing a sort of pain that I haven't experienced, because now I have a winning product. I'm getting customer service emails, and I'm like, there's a lot of people complaining about this freaking shipping times. And I'm like, this ain't Amazon. You didn't buy from Amazon. You ain't getting it in 2 days, but I'm dealing with it. And you got to roll with the punches, and you got to be mentally tough to know that it's all worth it. And on the other side of it, there's going to be, it's going to be worth it. You're going to hit that gold, but it's just, you got to be willing to dig and dig and dig and not know how far you have to dig.
And it's the last thing. And I know you're a busy man. I want to let you go to your family. So, as you said, it's that kind of like levels of pain. And I can tell you, I mean, so, like right now, I've done okay for myself, done pretty well for myself. I don't have to work if I wanted to retire tomorrow, but even right now, there's a pain. Like, we're running a business. There's pains every day. There's like, there's this concern, this issue, the payroll, right? Like, there's a payroll, right? Like, you have to pay people every month, it just like gets, and it's so that never ends. And then, okay, if we have a slow month or less profitable months, guess what? You still have to pay the payroll. Like, it's, so guys, if you are listening to this and you're looking to get into business, I mean, that's what's on the other side. But it's like you do this well, right? And the opportunity right over there is crazy, because if you do it right, if you do it consistently, if you commit to it, like you can set yourself for life in a few years. Let's say you build the brand, right? Let's say you build the brand, you make it profitable, you have good books, like year over year growth, like you can sell the business for a few $1 million. It's not that difficult. And few $1 million, so you put it in some real estate, in some investments, get your 5-10% annual, say you get 100 G's a year, right? Totally passively, And so I think that the opportunity, in that sense where you are like, and you would need, so to do that, like you would need to have about 2.5. If you do, let's say, $2 million in assets at 5%, that's $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right. So it's doable, right? It's obviously wouldn't happen tomorrow, right? You'd have to sacrifice like certain things in the process, right? But if you commit to it and you have a plan and you just stick to it, I mean, it's definitely possible. This is the vehicle that makes it all possible, because not only are you making profit in the process, right? But you're also making the profit, a lot of money when you're exiting the business. And
100%.
Yeah, man, I mean, I'm just very excited.
It's more fun making money for yourself than for a big corporation. I'll tell you that, hands down.
Man, this is awesome. And it's amazing to see your progression. I'll see you. We'll do another one when you hit 100K a month.
Perfect. I can't wait.
So we do that, guys. And if you want to connect with Tommy, like, how do people connect with you?
On Instagram, any of the students in BBA message me right on school. I love it. And look, right as we're about to end, another Shopify notification. Love it.
See, good stuff, my man. Yeah, have a great evening with your family, guys. Thank you so much for watching, Tommy. Looking forward to your next benchmarks, next breakthroughs, and next successes.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah. Thank you, my man.